What's up, guys? Welcome back to another training vlog. So today we have our second upper body session of the week. So for my first block, my power block, I have hang cleans plus jerks for 10 minutes, just trying to build into something heavy. Then my main strength movement of the workout is military press, standing barbell press. And then we have a med ball complex paired up with that. And then some accessory strength. We have cable rows with dumbbell incline press. And then lastly, we have some arm work with some barbell curls, cable push downs, and then lastly some core. We got some lateral leans. Let's get started. Done with the Olympic lifting. Worked up to 180, which I'm really happy with. My PR for the clean and jerk is 185. So that's really good. Be doing 180 right now in my second week of my block. And it felt good. I probably could have hit 185 if I tried, but timer went off and I already went over the time in my last video for the snatches. So want to try to remain in the restraints of my program. Don't want to overdo it. You don't want to overcook your training too early. So done with that. About to get warmed up for military press. And I like doing military press on this workout because after doing those push jerks, my shoulders are already warmed up. So not spend that much time warming up. And then for the med ball complex, it's a little inspired by my mentor. So it's going to be a rotation slam. And after you slam the ball, you catch it and then go into a wall punch or a wall throw, whatever you call it. I don't really do much med ball work in my programs before either. Same thing with the upper body plyos. So I just want to incorporate it because if I ever program it for a team, I want to know how it feels for me to do it so I can be better at coaching it. All right, finished up with the second block. Military presses went well. Just when you do them, focus on pressing through, get your head through, and squeezing your ear to your shoulders. Hopefully, by the end of this year, I am doing these for sets of 135 for reps. General consensus is that the standing barbell press is a little hard to add weight to compared to like your other compound movements like deadlift, bench, and squat. The reason for that is just there's more stability component to it because when you're standing up with the barbell, you have to really brace your core and stabilize your body to move the weight. Bench press is pretty stable. You're laying down your back, and then squat and deadlift, that's just a lower leg exercise. So it's going to be easier to add weight to those. But I know a lot of people who work out, they say like, oh, it's like so hard to add pounds to your military press. So it's just something you have to be patient with and just continue to rep it out, get good quality reps, and don't cheat your form or jerk it up to try to add weight that way. Because a big problem with people is they understand that progressive overload is like a sign that you're getting stronger or building muscle. But it's not considered progressive overload if you have to drastically change your technique to get the weight up. So say I'm doing this for 135, and that's strict form. And then I put 145 on the next week, but now I'm like pushing it up with my legs. That's a whole different movement. That's like a push press or a push jerk. So you're not really progressive overloading. You're just changing how you perform the exercise to try to add more weight to it. Progressive overload is more of an outcome that shows that you are building adaptation. It's not something that you should be trying to force. It happens naturally through good, consistent training and programming. And then for the med ball complex, it's just producing upper body power output in more of a rotational plane. Something cool to think about is that, at least in sport that I know of, there's not many instances or any where when you're trying to produce upper body power that you're not using your legs. Think about a baseball swing, you're producing the power through your hips and your legs. Same with a golf swing. When you tackle somebody, all that's driving through the legs. So that's just something cool to think about is you don't really train upper body power in isolation. You still have to generate force from your legs and your hips mostly, and you transfer it to your upper body to help you throw and slam and whatnot. But yeah, moving on to believe we're on our last. No, we have accessory strength movement. So we got cable rows and dumbbell incline press. That was my third block. For the cable rows, for one set, I chose a little wider grip. In the second set, I chose a more narrow grip. The reason why I did that is because, so when you're rowing, depending on what arm path you use, dictates what muscles are recruited more or isolated more. So a narrow arm path is going to be more lats, and then the more flared out your arm path is, it's going to be more rear delts and then more traps and rhomboids or upper back, if you want to summarize it all. So the reason why I do that is just for variation, and also because I just want to target different regions of my back. And you might be like, oh, like that sounds like bodybuilding, but I mean, of course, I'm trying to build some muscle too. Like, I think training like an athlete is cool because you incorporate all the different principles and methodologies of different training. So you might have some powerlifting stuff for your strength blocks. You might have some Olympic lifting for your power blocks, and then for your accessory stuff, you might put some bodybuilding in there. So it's cool because you're trying to pick and choose and take away different things and ideas from other practices and stuff. So did that for the cable rows. Then I had dumbbell incline press. Incline press is really good because it really incorporates your shoulders, triceps, and chest all in one. And then going back to the cable rows, a cool, interesting thing is there's been studies done where they'll take two different groups of people. One group does like all free weights, and the other group does all machines. And both groups had very similar performance outputs when it comes to like vertical jump and stuff. That's interesting because you might hear like, oh, like machines are more meant for bodybuilders, or it's non-functional training, and free weights are what you need to be doing if you're trying to be athletic. But in reality, they both work. It just depends on how you program them and use them. Because what's the difference between a barbell squat and a hack squat? They're both squat patterns. And you can argue for both, like, yeah, maybe you want the athlete to stabilize more with their core and the torso on the free weight squat, so that's why you free weight squat. Or you can argue like, hey, a hack squat, since you don't have to stabilize yourself, you can just focus on intently pushing as hard as you can in a squat pattern. So there's benefits of both. I know there's some people who like really villainize one modality, but I really like to use all of them because they're all good for their own reasons. And you could build muscle and power and strength with machines and with free weights. Just do whatever you like, and also just do what's available to you. Like some people don't have a hack squat. Some people only have free weight, so you just have the free weight squat. But yeah, like I said in a previous video, I don't like villainizing exercises, and I also don't like putting other exercises on pedestals. Like the exercise I like to do is just because like personal preference. So yeah, that's my little spill on that. All right, that's the workout. Really good day of training. Just like I said, grateful that I had this space and blessed that I have the opportunity to even train. You know, there's some people with really busy schedules or physical physical obstacles that doesn't allow them to train. So I'm just blessed I have this. Um, yeah. So last blog, just some accessory work, some isolation stuff. On how I like to program is like say I have two upper and two lower workouts. The first one is going to be more power strength oriented, and then maybe like has isos and mobility. And then the second pairing of upper lower is going to have more like hypertrophy work. So as you see, like in this workout, I had cable rows and barbell curls and push downs, like more machine or single joint movements. I think in my last leg day, I had leg press and leg extension. So, like I said, just getting the best of both worlds, getting best of training like an athlete. So, training like a bodybuilder, training like a powerlifter, train like an Olympic weightlifter. Just put all those in one. Boom, you have good athletic training. Some may say like, oh, if you're trying to grow big arms, like why are you doing barbell curls? Like why not do a machine curl? And again, that just goes back to like doing movements that you enjoy. So yeah, you can make an argument that I should probably be doing like a preacher like we have a preacher machine curl. Like why am I not using that? I just don't enjoy using like to me bicep training is already boring. So and it doesn't help that I don't enjoy like machine movements for the biceps because it's just boring to me. So I'm not motivated to train. And maybe you can say like, oh, I just need to be disciplined, but why not if you have the ability to make your training enjoyable so it'll help you um, perform better as well, and then you have better outcomes. So I just chose barbell curls because I used to do barbell curls in high school, and I think they're fun and they're enjoyable, and it helps me train harder. And I mean, there's benefits of using a barbell curl because you can just load up the 2.5 plates. There's smaller increment loading you can use, so you can progress for longer. Because like most machines, it goes like 10, 20 pound increments. Yeah, and then push downs, just cable push down drill, standard, and then lateral leans. I like these because there's like this stigma where people are like, you have to keep your spine really rigid or your back really straight when you do movements. And they're like anti movement for the spine. But your spine is made to move. That's why you have so much mobility in your spine. And so I like to train my abs in all the different ranges of motion or all the movement patterns that it has access to. So I like to have a flexion movement. Lateral leans is lateral flexion and then rotation. And you can do anti-flexion, anti-rotation as well. I think it's really important to strengthen your abs and your spine in dynamic movements in all planes of motion, not just doing sit-ups and crunches. And that's an example of like if I'm trying to be a good athlete or just like a better or a healthier human, not just training like bodybuilders where they only do like weighted sit-ups or crunch machines because yeah, that builds like better aesthetic abs, but they don't train all the ranges of motions that are available to you. So yeah, good workout. If you enjoyed the video, I appreciate if you hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and comment any questions you have about training, programming, S&C, anything of the sort. But like I said, thank you for taking your time to watch this video, and God bless.